Well, that looks like a nasty bun. How you feel?
Not great.
Not surprised. Word of the wise. That particular patient always requires restraints. Don't want to walk into a situation totally blind. You'll wind up...
Knocked on my ass.
Yeah.
You need to get out of the car.
What?
You need to get out of the car, ma'am. Your vehicle is stuck in the ditch. Oh, you're lucky you didn't smash this ridiculous little car of yours into a tree. You're in a heavily wooded area. There's no cell reception here.
Could you drop me at the McCrae cabin? It's in Virgin River. I've got the address here.
Anyone who lives within 50 miles a year knows the McCrae cabin. You know, folks around here, we don't pay each other to be neighborly. It's just something we do. Someone pulled a fast one on you. Never book your vacation online. They'll scam you every time.
I heard he's handling the practice alone, and it's getting to be too much for him.
Oh, is that what you heard?
Yeah. I think he's in his 70s and still working full-time.
Oh, it's a wonder he's still above ground. And for the record, Missy, I'm 72.
I'm Hope McCrae. As the mayor of Virgin River, I'd like to officially welcome you to our little slice of heaven.
Farmhouse-chic cabin, nestled in the woods of Northern California, is designed to enjoy all the trappings of country life. Farmhouse-chic is not an accurate description of this property.
I admit I haven't gotten around to taking a more current photo. You did come a bit early.
No, I didn't. I'm 3 days late.
Well, no need to get all twisted up. I can wake up the Fitches. Joellen and Nick rent out their extra rooms. Of course, the husband's a bit handsy. He pretends it's an accident, but it isn't.
Oh, well, at least the fridge is stocked with gourmet foods and beverages.
I was going to take care of that earlier, but we had a ribbon cutting ceremony over at the firehouse. Got ourselves a new hose. Hungry equals cranky, and between us gals, you don't wear cranky well. You head to Jack's, and by the time you get back, I'll have the hot water running and fresh towels and blankets.
Who's Jack?
Jack's Bar. Only place to eat in town after 5. You can walk out the door and to the left.
No. Any chance of getting a Cosmo?
Nope, not unless you brought your own Cointreau.
I did not. Mixed drinks or not.
Not our thing. But I have all the boys, Johnny, Jack, and Jim, all the regular stuff, and beer, just no frill.
All right, make it a gym straight up.
Hey, commend you on your choice. Well, I didn't know city girls could shoot whiskey.
What makes you think I'm a city girl?
Come on, Cosmo, manicure, Cartier.
You should be a detective.
No, my days of tracking bad guys are over. Sorry, we don't tend to get a lot of visitors in here, certainly not as beautiful as you.
I'm sorry, does that line really work?
Well, you'd be surprised.
Well, you're lucky we're not in Los Angeles because Angelinos can smell BS a mile away.
Oh, really? Well, that's one of the reasons why I love living here so much. People aren't so jaded.
So is this your bar?
Well, we'll be in about 60 more payments. Brings you to our tiny little hamlet. What'd you do to deserve that?
Yeah, I should have come up and vetted the place first.
Oh, come on. I think spontaneity is an admirable quality.
Oh no, you can't credit me with being spontaneous. No, it once took me 6 months to buy a crepe pan.
He does not like formalities.
No, well, he does not like me. I basically called him old. But in my defense, I didn't know it was him I was talking to when I said it.
You know what? I actually have had squirrel, and if it's done right, it's pretty tasty.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take your word on that. And I moved to this town that I've never heard of, just so I could live in there.
If I had a spare room, I'd offer, but perspective is most often the key to happiness.
So what you're saying is that acclimation is possible?
This is personally autographed by Bob Seger and the entire Silver Bullet Band, handed down to me by my father, who was at Cobo Hall in Detroit on the night of the live recording of their very first album. Now, one beautiful day in the not-too-distant future, I'm going to hand this on to our son, Mark Jr., and he to his son, Mark Jr., Jr., and so on and so forth.
That gun's not loaded, right? In my defense, I was told by Mrs. McCrae that you were elderly and nearing retirement.
It took me 30 years to build this practice from scratch. I don't even recall interviewing you, but maybe that's just my dementia acting up.
Well, I was hired to do a job, and I'm here to do that job.
You know, in this county, trespassers can be shot on sight. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, that is a duck.
Well, it's finally happened. You've lost your damn mind.
Ow.
You threatened her with a gun?
I simply educated her on some of our local laws.
You are a stubborn goat. I gave you an entire year.
This is not your business.
This town town. Depends on both of us.
And who put you in charge?
The town did when they elected me mayor.
You ran unopposed.
The point is, I won.
You are the only one who thinks I need any help. The only one!
Bull, everyone thinks you need help. They're just too scared to tell you. Vernon, we both know you can't be in two places at once.
Got goat, beef, venison, rabbit, and buffalo.
Any fish? You know, you should try the salad with the shaved Brussels sprouts and kale.
Kale?
Yeah, all of Preacher's vegetables are farm to table, and the farm is about 50 feet from the table. I'm probably the only person in Virgin River with a subscription to Vogue, so that's...
You are a brilliant doctor. But when you're finally ready to hang up your stethoscope, you'll be leaving behind a gaping hole in this community. She ranked top of her class at UC Irvine, did her practical at County USC, then she spent 5 years working emergency at Cedars-Sinai. Her references are good as gold.
What the heck's she doing here? 30 days. But if she can't cut it, I've got your word this is the last time you stick your nose in my business?
Oh no, it's totally normal to have a gourmet kale and Brussels sprout salad at a bar in the middle of nowhere surrounded by animal heads. I would kill for a latte.
Sorry, nearest Starbucks 80 miles away.
Really? Mm-hmm. You know there's a Starbucks in Kuala Lumpur? Nurses Beyond Borders.
Oh, humanitarian.
Yeah, well, according to Doc, I'm an ageist.
Doc's not going to throw you a parade, but he agreed to try you out. Start immediately.
Hope, you've already hired me.
Well, here's the thing. I'm paying your salary, but it is his practice, so...
Why didn't you just tell me that?
Well, honey, then you wouldn't have come, would you? Like my father said to my mother at the altar, you're already here, so let's make the best of it.
Okay, well, I'm not staying in that shack another night.
Well, I gotta side with Mel on that one.
You stay out of this. Do I need to remind you that we have
I'm fully aware that we have a contract. Okay, I'm also aware that suitable housing was part of the deal. So technically, you're in breach, which means the contract is null and void and I can leave whenever I want.
Why don't you get a room at the Fitches? I'll fix up the cabin. Ricky could help me.
I'm not made of money.
Oh, please don't pour mouth to me. You and I both know you couldn't spend half of what you have if you tried.
You're offering an awful lot of yourself to help a complete stranger. I've known you a long time. If Mel was short for Melvin, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'll put you up at the Fitches while I figure out what to do with the cabin.
The place with the handsy husband. You know, I can fight my own battles.
Hey, never turn down help when you're deep in a foxhole. How about a show of Virgin River hospitality? Why don't I take you on a tour tomorrow?
No, until I can confirm that you are competent, no patience.
How can you confirm my competency if I can't see any patients?
Chit-chat is over. I got a waiting room full of people.
Oh, I am sorry that my husband isn't here to greet you as well. He's doing a supply run in Grace Valley. We only have one room left, and I'm nervous that you won't like it. Hope told me that you're very picky.
I believe in self-discovery and practicality. Cleared your morning with Doc?
You cleared my morning.
Well, there's no cell reception out here, so I figured you wouldn't want to give Doc any more ammunition by being late, so... In peace, nothing so becomes a man or woman as modest stillness.
Shakespeare?
I'm in my 20s. I love to read while drinking, so it kind of all evens out.
I used to work in the ER Level 1 trauma center, so I've seen my fair share of what dangerous can do.
Marine, joined up right out of high school, spent 20 plus years, mostly in the Middle East.
And I've gone through last night's receipts twice. And, the cash box is light.
You know what, I advanced Ricky a week to prep the McCrae cabin for some maintenance. So I thought I logged that, must have forgotten.
So how long before you disappear again?
I told him he could stay as long as he wants. A lot of kids behind who I couldn't help, and I can help Brady, okay? I'm not turning my back on him.
Well, then you may want to change the locks on the office door. Or you may be advancing Ricky a whole lot more than a week's pay.
I'm just having some Braxton Hicks. False labor pains. They don't feel false though, do they? Why don't you just lay here and rest and I'll go call your husband to come pick you up, okay?
Who said you could give her an exam?
I was just doing my job.
This is my practice. My name is on that door. You do not work with a patient unless you have my permission.
Polly was having Braxton Hicks. I had to examine her to make sure that she wasn't in premature labor. Did you know there's protein in her urine?
Don't lecture me about my patient.
Well, it's not in her chart.
I don't put everything in the chart.
And if you're not here to tell me what's not in the chart.
My dear, I'm not just old, I'm old school. And in my day, a nurse would never question the methods of a supervising physician. A nurse would know her place.
Well, I hope you'll join me in the 21st century.
And your point is?
This time it was false labor, but what about the next Polly or whoever? Do you want me to just stand by and watch someone bleed out if you're not here?
You should have called me.
I had things under control. So, if I can't do what I was hired to do, what is it that you want me to do?
We'll straighten up the office file thing. I keep the coffee pot full.
Okay, good medicine is about teamwork, and he doesn't want me on his team.
He'll come around.
He is rude, he is demeaning, and he's a big-time chauvinist.
Man's got his quirks, I'll give you that.
It's obvious that he needs somebody, but it's not gonna work like this, okay? It needs to be his idea or he's never gonna accept it. My grandfather was just like him.
So you understand?
Yeah, and he's never gonna change. Look, I hope the bottom line is that this is not what I signed up for.
Life rarely gives us what we want.
I'm sorry, I have to give you notice.